What's going on, amazing people? Welcome back to the Optimal Strength Podcast. I am your host, as always, Coach Matt Reed, and it is a pleasure to bring you episode 7. Man, this has been a great ride, getting back into the grind of things. The holidays are upon us. Hope your Thanksgiving was great. I hope your Christmas plans on being even better, but man, it is here, so that means that holiday food about to kick in. An extra 5 to 10 winter pounds are going to come around the waistline, and we're going to look in the mirror for our New Year's resolutions. Oh, no. It's hectic for some people, but I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful holiday season. But today's episode is action-packed as always. I will be covering a couple different topics. First one's be the power of progressive overloads and why it's important to build athletic strength. Next, sprint secrets for speed, why I train athletes with sprints versus doing long duration running. Next, for the editorial section, those of you who follow the podcast, I always end off with my personal note is navigating body dysmorphia conversations with athletes, because it's a big thing that people don't talk about that needs to be talked about, especially with younger athletes. So again, before I get into the episode, if you guys have not already subscribed to the podcast, leave a review. It helps boost this podcast up to new heights. We are a growing podcast, and I'm so grateful and thankful for all the support that I'm getting from everybody from everywhere. Honestly, if you guys want more topics, feel free to message me, leave a review, let me know what you like, and we'll get into it. Also too, I'll be giving away a free 4 weeks of coaching, online coaching for random. All right, for the first 5 people that leave a review or ask a question, you're getting free 4 weeks of online coaching with me personally. And trust me, you're going to love it, and you're going to say, wow, thank you. But without further ado, let's hit that intro. Let's get into it. All right, let's dive into the first topic of the day, which is progressive overloads. Now, this is a mechanism and a area of training that is used widely and in many varieties. It's very popular in the bodybuilding community. It's very popular in the general population and general fitness realm, but also in the athletic realm. It has become popular, but it has kind of gone to the wayside in favor more of max effort reps, in favor of, moderate repetitions with heavier weight. And the progressive overload method, I think, definitely applies to youth athletes and high school athletes tremendously. I'm not discounting college or professional. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this portion, youth and high school athletes definitely will benefit more if they with a proper program that institutes progressive overload. Excuse me, coming down with a cold. The winter's getting me, so if you guys hear me clearing the throat a little bit or sound a little nasally, that is what it is. But so progressively overload. So when you're programming a strength training based block or protocol or set, whichever you want to call it, have a progressive overload in mind. So for example, let's do the bench press, okay, which is probably everybody's go-to exercise anyways. But the bench press, if we have, let's say, a freshman receiver who can't even bench the bar, right? And we're starting the strength program in December 1st. Okay, we want to make sure that every week that we do some sort of bench press, we are either doing 2 things. We can slowly increase the weight by small increments per week and keep the reps the same, or we can increase the repetitions and try to see how do we gauge his force output or the speed in which he pushes the bar up. Now, the reason I'm saying this, those are 2 variations of a progressive overload. The first one, we are progressively overloading by adding weight and creating a new stimulus for the said muscle group, which is going to be the chest, the triceps, and the shoulders for this young man, okay? Each week, it's going to have a new resistance that it has to push past, therefore to build new muscle and adapt with new strength. Then we go into the second scenario to where we keep the same weight, but we change the intensity and we increase the repetition. We are still shocking the muscle and causing it to grow and causing the nervous system to adapt. Also, we are maintaining proper form without overly doing it, because if he can't push the bar properly, therefore it's going to be an issue with his form. So again, those are two examples of progressive overloading with a bench press, for example. I am a huge proponent of either method, and I feel like a lot of coaches love the max effort thing. We're gonna go squats. We're gonna go 12, 10, 8, 6, and then the last set we're gonna max out. Now that is progressive overloading, but to the point of overtraining too much volume. Now, if you were to do a said block where this first 6-week block of this program, we're going to do the first 2 weeks 12 to 10 reps, the second 2 weeks 10 to 8 reps, the third 2 weeks 8 to 6 reps, and that final 2 weeks of that program, or I'm sorry, I had it incorrect. That third 2 weeks, that's when we're going to do the 8 to 6 or the 6 to 4, whichever you want to do. But you see, we're progressively increasing the weight, but we're lowering the repetitions, okay? But at that same time, we want to make sure that we maintain a sense of speed with the weight going up on the eccentric, okay? Slow concentric, get them to control it, keeping their muscles under tension, and have them fire out as fast as we can. And that's the key thing. You can progressively overload the weight all you want to, but their form or what you're supposed to do. Again, when we're training athletes, it's different than training bodybuilders or personal training. We are training them to be at the peak, top tier performance-wise in said sport. If it's a basketball player, they have to be able to run, have stamina, and be able to jump out the gym pretty much. Football player, you have to be explosive, quick laterally and short-term vertically, and you also have to be able to generate power within 4 to 5 seconds, which is the average play, and recover quickly. Okay, baseball, you have to be able to have stamina because those are long games, but you also be able to exert power in small portions like a football player, but also be able to recover faster too as well. So those are examples there, but progressive overload is a huge key to building athletic strength, and I think a lot of people are straying away from it, and you need to come back to it. You need to come back to the basics. You need to start with the first 4 weeks of being 12 to 10 repetitions in there, and then that last set have to be 10 repetitions of a moderate weight with good form and nice velocity when they're pushing that weight up. I genuinely feel like people like to go, heavy first to ego and clock in numbers, but most of those numbers don't even count because the form is bad and the kids have no idea what they're doing. So just keep that in mind. So again, progressive overload has a huge key for 2 reasons I'm going to talk about before I finish the topic up, is physical adaptation. Your athletes not only will see a difference in their physique because their body is going to build muscle. When you progressively overload in a proper format, your body is adapting and it's going to change. It's going to build more muscle because we're tearing down muscle tissue to rebuild new ones, right? And when you start with the volume and then you start getting more to the strength-based portion, your athletes are not only going to have a nice muscular foundation, but they're also going to be able to have room for more dense muscle when they start increasing the weight, right? And be able to be more fluid and be able to move more and push more power out. Second one is you're training a healthy nervous system. So by their body going through these adaptations physically, their nervous system also going to be able to not only correlate, but know, hey, all right, so I know when we get to this last set, we're going to be at our top and need our most energy. So let me prime the body and tell the muscles to get ready to fire as fast as they can through this last set. So it's just a couple examples there of why progressively overloading is a huge key, especially for youth athletes and high school athletes. Getting them in the mechanic of progressively getting stronger over time will set them up for success for when you get to high school. for when they do get to college and do get a professional level, that they are progressively increasing and there's no drop off, there's no midpoint. They just are getting better over time progressively. And that's the whole goal. You don't want drop offs. You don't want them to be stale or stagnant. You want them to keep getting better. Hey guys, before we dive deeper in our discussion today, I want to take a moment to share an exciting opportunity with you. Do you want to take your fitness journey to the next level and maximize your gains? I know I do. Trust me, that's what I've been searching for. Well, I have an amazing partner that I want to offer to you that can do just that. Meet MHS Supplements, your trusted source for premium, high-quality supplements designed to support your athletic performance and recovery. MHS Supplements offers a wide variety of products, from their hybrid pre-workout to recovery-boosting supplements, all backed by a vigorous source of quality standards. So whether you're an elite athlete or weekend warrior, MHS Supplements has something for you. And here's the best part. So I hope you're listening. You can get 10% off your next purchase. Simply use my code STRONG10 at checkout to enjoy this exclusive offer. So what are you sitting there waiting for? Go to mhssubs.com and use code STRONG10 at checkout to get 10% off. And I'm telling you, you're not going to regret hitting your full potential, becoming the best version of yourself, and being the strongest in the gym. You'll thank me later. Okay, so when I'm training my football players to get faster, for them to be able to run sprints, for them to run their 40, for them to train or test better, whatever the case may be, ready for the season, most of the quote-unquote speed days that we do are predicated on short sprint intervals. What I mean by that is, very rarely, almost never, do I have them do full 40s, 100-yard dashes, relays, anything of that nature. When we're doing conditioning portion, which is Fridays, I do have them run a mile, 2 miles, to strengthen their anaerobic, response in their body. But that's just for that, to increase their cardiovascular capacity. When we're training for speed, which is usually twice a week, I want to increase their aerobic capacity. I want to increase their type 2 response, their force output. I want to increase that they are using the maximal amount of, muscular energy that they can to get to point A to point B as fast as they can, but also teaching them that proper form, proper mechanics as well. So, for example, a sprint pyramid that I implement would be, let's say a Tuesday, we're doing our speed work. We would do 10 sets of 5-yard sprints, focusing on getting the first step down as quick as we can with a low center of gravity, without popping up, running straight up with our chest high, doing a chicken run. We want to have a low center of gravity, popping our hips, having our foot hit the ground, come back up, hit the ground, come back up. 10 rounds of 5-yard sprints with about 2.5 minutes of rest in between. Again, when we're training this kind of methodology, we're not running gassers here. This is a short burst. You want to rest, recover, maximize the amount of type 2 muscular energy that they're going to be able to produce, and force that they'll be able to produce. Do not have them run 30 seconds, rest, then go back. No, 2 to 3 minutes. Let them rest, let them get their breath, their bodies get ready and prime to give the best, and to give the best example they can for you, so you can coach it up and get it better. Then we'll go into, let's say, about 7 or 8 repetitions or sets, quote unquote, of 10-yard sprints. Again, this time we're doing 3 to 5 minute rest intervals. Again, keeping the body prime and trying to produce the most force as quick as possible. Now, when we go to the 10 yards, now our focus is on getting the first and second step down as fast as we can, and being fluid with that while we are maintaining some explosion. That is crucial. When you're looking at, when pro scouts looking at 40 times, say for linemen, they really don't care about the first 10 yards, that 10-yard split, quote unquote, because most time in the game, that's the most they're going to run at that speed is 10 yards. It's nice to see a lineman run a 4.6. Most of the time, though, it's the 10 yards that matter the most. Football is a game of 4 to 5 seconds per play on average. So if you can explode or cover a distance in 4 to 5 seconds faster than the next guy, you have a really good chance, right? Just saying, that's just how they're judging NFL and colleges now too as well. So when I'm teaching my youth or high school athletes, when we do our 10-yard sprints, your first and second step are crucial. You covering as much ground as possible, but maintain a good stride length to push out from. All right. And then some days I may have them do 5:15s and then 3:20s, nothing too crazy. But if we do get to those lengthier days, focusing on, when we go 15, it's the 3 steps, and then we go 20s, it's, all out. I want to make sure that you are covering this portion, sub 2. Biggest thing is a 2 or under for them 20s, obviously for skill guys, you want that. Lineman, maybe 2.5, but for skills, definitely 2 or under is what they need to cover in that 20-yard span, right? But again, these sprint intervals help train their feet to hit the ground and make contact, to help train their hip explosion. It's a great way to get athletes faster and train them for exactly it's going to correlate for the sport. Not to get them in cross-country shape, not to get them, in basketball shape, but if they're football players, this is how you get them in football shape. Everyone, I feel like this topic, this might divide people. This might cause people to feel the same way. But listen, it's a big thing. This is a personal thing for me. I covered on my YouTube channel. What I'm covering here in the podcast is body dysmorphia, especially amongst athletes and the youth today in general. Body dysmorphia is a diagnosis when you look in the mirror and you see one thing, but somebody else sees another thing, and you can't unsee that. And it's primarily with yourself. I struggle with this personally. I have for years. It's due to bullying as a kid. It's due to verbal abuse from other kids or myself, and not being able to correlate between that, right? And it's happened as an adult, like trying to emulate like a Hollywood actor's body, knowing I can't, knowing that's not how my lifestyle is, and that's caused a lot of mental pushback from myself, right? So with athletes, it's the same way. When they see a set athlete, oh my God, he has a 6-pack, he's jacked, and he can run a 4.2. I look like I just ate a tub of Baskin Robbins and I only run a 5 flat. That's a very big component of, we got to tell athletes, like, you're built a certain way. You can always change it through training and dieting. That's the biggest thing. But you're built a different way. Your body's a different way. Use the tools you have. Like if a guy is shorter, right? Look, and the one thing I always see is we get a lot of bigger kids who played skill positions when they were younger, right? They played running back, receiver, and pee-wee. But as they get older, they've added weight to their body. They've gotten taller, so they can't play those positions. So they end up playing on the line. Then they start feeling bad about themselves, feeling like they're fat or they're overweight, or they're just disproportionate what they used to be. But it's not. It's just trying to have that tough conversation. Like, hey kid, I know you played receiver, I know you played running back, but at this point in your life, like that's not what your skill set is. Like you're a nice athlete, but with your size, you're able to do more and make more of an impact here in this position. But breaking it down to them and understand, like, you can change your physique with diet and training, but also allow your body to grow properly. And I feel like that's not brought up enough. And even just with them looking at social media, seeing other people like, oh, that's Jack, let me hop on this such and such supplement or substance, and I'm gonna get looked at. And it's not true. And that needs to stop. Tremendously needs to stop, because there are so many kids out here that think that if they buy this and they take this, they're gonna look like these guys, and it's not possible. I mean, it's just horrible advice, and parents have to do better in regulating that and uplifting kids and giving them proper environment to have a high self-esteem about themselves, and knowing that the way your body is, you can change it on your own to how you feel fit. But no matter how you change it, like it's you, at the end of the day, you have to love yourself. And that's the biggest thing, is with body dysmorphia, teaching people to love themselves for who they are and what they're given, and constructively reminding them that if you don't like something, you can change it. And with young athletes, you gotta let them know, like, you're still growing, your body's still growing. Yes, you're not able to play the position you played before, so you don't feel like you look the same, or look, at the end of the day, you are still an athlete. you are still an important part of whatever team you're on, and you're going to make an impact no matter where you are. So I really had to cover this topic because I got covered on YouTube, and it got me thinking about, times as a kid myself where I'm like, man, like I genuinely always wanted to be a quarterback, because for me, quarterbacks were cool. Everybody liked them. The girls always liked them. They were always the hot shots, the pretty boys, etc. So I'm like, but I'm too big to ever play quarterback. I was on the line the whole time. I'm never going to play quarterback. So that was one thing for me that I always had a dream of doing, but never could because it wasn't a reality. And, and that's why, like, when Jared Lorenzen, may he rest his soul, the hefty lefty who played for the Giants, when I saw him play, I said, oh, bet, this is good. This is a chance. I had no arm talent, but in my brain as a 13-year-old boy, like, yeah, I can do this. It's possible, right? But again, I looked at my body and said I couldn't be a quarterback. Then I saw someone do it, and I felt like I could. That correlates to the body dysmorphia. Like, we have to remind these kids that they are great the way they are. If they don't like something as they get older, they always have the power to change it. The gym is always there. Healthy diets are always there. But at the end of the day, they have to know that they have to love themselves, and that it's okay to want to change. It's okay to not feel right about something. It's okay, because that's just life, and that's what's going to go. But having a healthy and positive environment will definitely shift this feeling of having to take the shortcuts and the fast way out just because you don't look or run the same or catch the same or throw the same as somebody else. All right, thank you so much for tuning in for episode 7 of the Optimal Strength Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Coach Matt Reed, and I'm so appreciative of everybody who tunes in, whether it's one person, 2 people, 35 people. To me, it doesn't matter. Any support is appreciated, and I thank you so much. And if you're a supporter or a fan, do not forget to visit optimalstrengthtraining.com. Grab yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, grab the jogging suit set, okay, that you're going to thank me. It's lovely. Trust me, you're going to like it. I also got some new shirts on there too as well. Training programs are on there. But talking about training, if you're someone who is looking to get in shape, who is looking to change their body, change their mindset about fitness, but doesn't want to spend copious amounts of money and doesn't want to break the bank just to have a trainer, I have come up with something that's very affordable, very revolutionary, and it's my online coaching program, my Team Stronger You. All right, you can join to get your first 7 days for free. Then after that, it is $29.99 a month. That's it. $29.99 a month. You're gonna pay. You're gonna access to 8 programs out the gate. So that's it's total of almost a year worth of training that you're gonna have at your disposal. You can start at the beginner phase and work your way up to the more advanced phases as well. Also, you're gonna get custom meal plan I'm gonna build for you once you log in. Also, I am there for every step away, 24/7 support. We're gonna have 2 weekly Zoom calls, you and me personally, talking about any obstacles, struggles, concerns, and how we can adapt. Also, the free modifications to your program, no matter what program you choose to start off with, that we can make. Say, for example, you have a lower back injury, you can't deadlift, we'll swap that out for something that's going to strengthen your lower back without hurting you, okay? So, again, if you go to optimalstrengthtraining.com, right in the banner, it'll say Joins Team Stronger You. Go ahead, get your first 7 days for free, and you're not going to be disappointed. I promise you that. And again, thank you so much for tuning in for episode 7 of the Optimal Strength Podcast. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And whenever you hear this, have a great rest of your day. And remember, stay strong and become a stronger you.